first KWA gun was actually not for myself. When I first started playing, I already gone through like 5 different guns, and Rome, who's on the team, he needed a gun that was reliable, that we didn't have to do too much stuff to, we didn't have to upgrade it. We just needed a gun that would perform out of the box reliably without any issues. So I think we chose the KWA's CQB-R. That's kind of when our relationship with KWA started, and that kind of developed into where we are now, in that we're working creatively on something together.
So the Mod.1 is probably KWA's most hyped gun in history. It's only fitting that we make a special edition. The TK45 Special Edition worked out so well. We sold out in like 3 days, I think, and I can't even imagine what this gun would do on the market. I think the community needs this. We hope people could appreciate that we're gonna take the time with every gun that we notice people really want. We're gonna take the time and give them something even better.
So we first started working with Tom and KWA around the time of the release of the TK45 Special Edition. That's what led us to where we are today in our relationship with them, in that we've joined forces to work together on the QRF MOD.1 Special Edition. And when Tom first contacted me about this unique opportunity, I just had to, I had to jump at it, because it was just something that I was naturally and genuinely interested in. And I think for the very first time, an airsoft gun manufacturer kind of saw eye to eye, or we both were on the same wavelength about it. I think this is something that I wanted to do a lot earlier, but I think KWA is very ahead of its time in aligning with this type of action, meaning like they're trying to do something different. They're trying to break the mold. They're trying to do something creative that's never been done before.
I picked Eric because he worked on Black Ops, Call of Duty. I think it's amazing. I think from the concept art that I've seen, why not just go with someone with that exact skill set? He's also a player, and he's really good. To have someone that actually plays and designs this thing, it's just there's so much layers to this project that I'm so excited for everyone to see.
So my design process usually starts by me studying an object, meaning if I need to study a rifle, I will look at a picture of the rifle and I'll draw it. The reason why I do that is because there's certain guns that are very recognizable. Like when you see an AR-15, you know this is an AR-15 because of the shape. When you see an AK, you know it's an AK because of the curved mag. So I like to draw something because I need to understand that shape. I need to understand the form, how it's built. Once I do that, it goes from very general, meaning the entire shape of the gun, to something a little bit more specific, like, well, maybe it's the handguard, maybe it's the receiver, maybe it's the stock. Then it gets even more specific, like surface detail. Like within those bigger shapes, there are smaller shapes. So it kind of follows this process of like understanding something very general, meaning the big idea of something, and slowly honing in on the details.
When I first started the project, I was trying to find inspiration for the design. I mean, it's not easy to just sit down and think of a mood board, right? One thing that caught my eye recently was I saw some dude wear the white and blue Jordan 4s. And I remember back when I was a kid, that was the first sneaker that caught my eye. And looking at that kind of drove me down to a rabbit hole where I was looking at bikes of that colorway. I was looking at clothes, toys in that colorway, and I was like, I think we're getting somewhere, So Vaporwave is like a straight up throwback of 80s, 90s stuff mixed in with current day design. So I thought it was very interesting, and I think if we took that route a little bit, it would be a unique design that I think Airsoft's never seen before.
So when Tom first hit me up about the project, I was really excited about it, and we were just discussing of what it could look like, and I just told him, hey, why don't you just shoot me over some reference, let me know what you've been looking at. And it was just kind of funny because when he sent it over, I was like, man, I know exactly what language this guy's speaking. He sent over a picture of the Jordan 4s. It was like, I think it was like the royal white colorway. And he also sent over some references of the GSX-R sport bike. He was also referencing a lot of, Gundam robots or Gundam figures.
The colorway, we're going with a blue base and a white design. We were looking for an intricate design. We were looking for something complex, something for collectors to appreciate. I thought what Eric and I was able to talk about, it hit all angles that I wanted out of a special edition gun. This gun honestly is not for everyone. I think it takes you to be someone to really appreciate all the layers that this gun has to offer. Newer AEGs, the 2.5, they feature a VPS system. I mean, I think it's unheard of. You get to play indoor and outdoors, right? What KW really prides herself in is that we don't just focus on externals, but we want to innovate the internals too. Because our guns now are drop-in ready, we installed a Gate Titan into them. You're gonna expect an upgrade for every gun that we come out with.
You know, in order to harness creativity, you know, people need to understand the rules of something, meaning you can't break the rules unless you know them. And I think it's important that KWA always had a really good handle on creating something realistic, whether it's an M4, whether it was, you know, in 1911, like the weight of the gun, the way it felt in your hands, there was no wobbling. It was just a very solid piece. You know, if you blindfolded me and you said, here's an AR-15 and here's a KWA M4, not many people would probably be able to tell the difference, you know? So I think, you know, in being able to understand realism, once you understand realism, that's when you can break that mold and start to create something new. I felt like I've always had an eye for that, and that's what my passion is.